What's happening, captains? Neko God here. Back again with another reaction, which is today, episode 2 of Shichisei no Subaru. Now, when we last left off, we were introduced to this RPG game known as Union. And in this game were these popular players. Haruto, the leader, Takanori, the vice leader, Satsuki, who can control multiple elementals, Clive, who can shapeshift, I believe, Nozomi, who is a dream mage, and last but not least, Asahi, who is an empath and can also see into the future. Together, they would form an unstoppable party known as Subaru. The episode would start off with the team discussing the mysteries of darkness, a recently added quest with a hella strong boss that apparently nobody has beaten yet. And it was in that moment that they would decide to try to beat the quest, cementing themselves as legends. As they were prepping for the mission, Satsuki noticed that Haruto and Asahi were missing, and naturally went to go search for them. She would find them in the forest and begin to eavesdrop, learning that Asahi had asked him to make her a promise. However, it was not revealed to us what that promise was. It went silent, so we didn't get to hear it. The only people who know are Asahi, Haruto, and Satsuki, who again heard everything. After that, the team would reassemble to begin the quest. In doing so, they've cleared multiple checkpoints and defeated multiple enemies. Finally, they encounter the boss Purgatorio and then begin to do battle. Unfortunately, as the fight went on, Haruto would deviate from the plan and try to tackle Purgatorio head on, leaving Nozomi wide open for an attack. Now trying to defend Nozomi, he was blindsided by one of the attacks and knocked off his feet, losing the ring that I believe Asahi had given him earlier. Haruto would then be in danger of getting hit with a fatal blast from Purgatorio. However, before that could happen, Asahi jumped in the way, taking damage that would end in her character dying. And to make matters worse, the game is permadeath, meaning that once your character dies in the game, it's over. You don't respond and you can't log back in. We then are greeted with the team in the outside world, with the exception of Clive, since he is in another country. And it turns out, as mentioned earlier, they are indeed grade schoolers. They would be attending Asahi's funeral. Unfortunately, after dying in the game, she died in real life due to sudden heart failure, most likely as a result of the game, which was discontinued. After the service, Takanori would go on to blame Haruto for the death of Asahi, leaving the once phenomenal team in shambles. Fast forward 6 years later, the game would be revived, now known as Reunion. This time with the stipulation that any player who was good would become an executive candidate for the same company that developed the game. And in doing so would give them real world benefits such as, studying abroad and scholarships and whatnot. However, there is a difference because now the game is only available to players with the special trait known as Sense, which coincidentally Haruto, along with the rest of the members of Subaru, have. Reluctant at first, Haruto eventually comes around to playing the game again. With his avatar being resetted, he would meet up with who I can only assume are classmates, and they would tackle a dungeon quest. Although his character was resetted, Haruto would prove this to be no problem, cutting down 2 low-level enemies with ease. The cave would then start to glitch and transform into a more futuristic room, in which in it lied a treasure chest. And in that chest was none other than Asahi, or at least her avatar. It was a nice little episode, but now it has me wondering, because if Asahi's avatar is alive, I don't believe that the Asahi in the real world has been revived. I think it's just the avatar for now. I'm not sure. I'm also wondering what happened to the rest of Team Subaru. Again, it has been 6 years, so I can only assume that Takanori is still holding a grudge. Yeah, the first episode, if anything, acted as more of a lead-in, so I feel like most of my questions are going to be answered in episode 2. I hope so. Yep, there's only one way to find out. Let's dive in, shall we? Neko. still has her memories too. Wait, does she not remember dying? Okay, the opening's on. Okay, so she remembers Haruto, but I don't think she remembers that battle they had with Purgatorio. I'm not sure. But shit, of course, this doesn't mean that. I don't believe that this means that she's alive in real life, because shit, you can't come back from heart failure. At least I think so. I'm not a doctor. What up with that gang though? I'm trying to see what the rest of Team Subaru been up to. My guess is that they look exactly like the characters in the game, but shit. Dude, you know what? You know what? Never mind. The opening's done, but I'll get back to it later. Bitch, I almost died. There's a fucking zombie in front of him, obviously. So she doesn't remember. Yeah, she doesn't know she died. Okay. So she doesn't remember. Damn, now you gotta tell her she died.
運命に連絡するくらいしか。
登録されてないってどういうこと？またな。あ、みんなは？さつきや高成たちはまだログインしてないの？
あねえよ。
知らないってどういうこと？
もうあの頃とは違うんだよ。
あの頃。
Gotta break the news to her.
お前は6年前に死んだんだよ。
Who the fuck would joke about that?
俺だってわかんねえよ。
まさかと思ったが、本当にスバルの朝日じゃねえか。死んだって噂はガセだったってことか。
誰だ？
忘れちゃったの？いつもハルトに絡んでくるけど秒殺されてる。
知らん。
レオの道だ。言っとくがもうあの頃の俺じゃねえぞ。
それくらいハルトだって。
いや、俺は。
朝日、お前のプロフェアータは強力な戦力になる。俺たちの仲間になれ。
またそんなこと言ってるの？私にはスバルの仲間たちがいるんだから。
いつの話をしてる？スバルなんざこの世界には存在しねえよ。
そんなことあるわけないじゃない。ねえハルト。
No.
なんで黙ってるの？なんとか言ってよ。
おいおい。
You really can't take a hint.
ふざけないでよ。私そんなの信じないから。
信じなくたって構わねえよ。
ハルト、いつもみたいに一気に蹴散らしちゃう？
Then again, if this is the avatar from the year that she died, does that mean she has like the mind of a toddler now? Like she still has the mind of a toddler, a grade schooler?
そこらを歩いてるやつと大して変わらないぞ。
援護するわ。
下がってろ。
朝日よ、お前の仲間にならねえなら、まずこいつからゲームオーバーにしてやろうか。懐かしさすら込み上げて気になるぜ。その力には散々振り回されてきてる。
やっぱりお前本物の。
見えない。こんなこと今まで。
6年前の恨み100倍にして返してやるぜ。
逃げろ、朝日。
でもこのままじゃハルトとの約束が。
今すぐ土下座して謝れば許してやってもいいぜ。もちろん2人とも俺の手下になるのが条件だよ。
誰が？
そうかよ。
貴様、いつから
Oh shit. Taka fucking Nori.
全く勝ち目のない戦いをする気はあるか？グブツ。
権利センスに似てる。
Ah, dang.
こいつ超異ギルドの
イルミナティだ。
Oh, and he joined a new guild, I believe, called the Illuminati.
ブレイカー。
Pulled up with the gang.
貴様のような獣以下のグブツに服など不要。
さあ、お前ら絶対だ。高典、覚えてる。
センスを失って哀れなことだな、元リーダー。最初は報告を疑っていたが、また生きて会えるなんて嬉しいよ、朝日。なるほど、事情は分かった。あとは僕に任せるといい。
私を疑わないの？
僕が朝日を疑ったことがあったかい？
ありがとう。3人で一緒に行こうか。
いや、彼と
Yeah.
は必要ないだろう。
なんで？
それはこいつが
Ah,
一番
damn. It's so bad because she's so clueless.
戦いを見ただろう。僕らについてきても遠からずゲームオーバーになるだけさ。
どうして してそんなこと言うの？ハルトもなんで黙ってるの？ねえ。
高則、お前おかしいと思わないのか？どうしてそんな簡単にこの状況を受け入れられるんだよ。朝日がこうして僕の前に存在する以上、僕に朝日を疑う理由などない。お前も一緒にいただろう。あの時朝日はお前と議論するつもりはない。僕はあの時と同じことを言わせるつもりか。
お前が朝日を殺したんだ。どうしたの二人とも喧嘩ばっかりして。
Oh my god.
もうハルトを連れて行かないなら私も行かないからね。
そうか。でもすぐにわかるよ。そいつの無力さが。朝日。
And of course,
僕の力が必要ならいつでも。
yeah, and of course,
僕が
Takanori had a thing for Asahi, so this is why he feels so strongly towards it. So
どうしちゃったんだろう。
もう6年前とは何もかも違うんだ。俺だって。
of course he would have every reason to hate Haruto.
約束も何も6年前のクエスト失敗で何
What the fuck was this promise?
高則と話すのだって6年ぶりだ。みんなもういない。スバルだって。
本当にスバルはもうないの？
ああ。朝日。
じゃあもう一回作らなきゃ。
What the fuck?
スバルはみんなの帰るところだもん。みんなここに戻って。
Like I said, man, she still has the brain of a toddler, probably. Her mind hasn't aged. That's the thing. Oh, is that Satsuki? Visiting the grave?
確かにあいつは俺たちの知っている朝日だ。でも
お客さんだよ。すごい人だよ。
Satsuki, right?
誰だよ。
早く早く。久しぶり。
Oh, by the way, Satsuki has a thing for Haruto.
何それ。幼馴染が訪ねてきたっていうのに。上がって上がって。さつきお姉ちゃん。ああ、うん。ちょっと聞きたいことがあってやっただけだから。いいからいいから。
うるせえ、お前はあっち行ってろ。まあ上がれよ。
小学校の卒業式以来ね。
ああ、今座布団だから。
ここでいい？いつもここに座ってたし。
あの頃はありがとな。最後までかばってくれて。
みんな分かってたわよ。高則だってあんなこと言ってたけど。私さ、もうハルトは戻ってこないと思ってた。
何の話だ？
昨日宿屋の前で見かけたわ。
さつき、お前理由にはない。
Okay,
私は勇気が言ったけどね。
so she hopped back on as well.
ハルト
Damn!
がとしたらすぐログアウトされちゃって。
Satsuki grew a pair.
嬉しかった。
Shit.
一緒にいたやつも見たか？
幼馴染との再会か。
Them balloons,
そんなの信じられない。
俺だって信じられねえよ。
それでどうしたの？
宿屋でじっとしてろって言って戻ってきた。
そのまま置いてきたの？
他にどうしろって言うんだよ。俺はもともとあの世界に戻る気なんてなかったし、あとは高則に任せるさ。
そんなのハルトらしくない。
朝日にも言われたな。とにかく俺はもう戻る気ないし、本当はわざとゲームオーバーになって ID を抹消したかったんだ。あっちの世界との関わりを、思い出を一切消すために。
私たちとの思い出も全部。それでハルトは過去から逃げられるの？静かだけど朝か。あのお兄ちゃんに限ってそんなだから。お邪魔しました。
Okay, so we have Haruto, Satsuki, Asahi, and Takanori.
こ
So,
の前と姿が違うね。クライブに変えてもらったの？
where the fuck is Clive and Nozomi?
ああ、そうか。6年ぶりなんだよね。なんか時間なくてさ。あまり驚いてないのね。本当のことっぽいし、考えたって仕方なくない？確かに朝日みたい。もう、さつきまでハルトみたいなこと言うんだから。あなたは死んだって自覚はある？
さつき、
こう言わないと話は進まないわ。
I mean, you already told her that.
まだ実いよ、さつきってば。じゃあ、あなた
Damn, she really doesn't believe that she's dead.
最後の記憶はどこで止まってるの？確か私がハルトをかばって。ええ、クエストは失敗。ログアウトしたら朝日は死んでた。葬式も行ったわ。待ってよ、私は死んでなんかないよ。こうしてちゃんとログアウトできないんでしょ。それは戻るべき肉体がないからよ。ひどいよ、さつき。なんでそんなことを。じゃあどうしろって言うのに。
Come on.
僕ね、あなたを忘れたことなんて一度もなかった。毎年お墓参りだってしてるのよ。本当に生きてるならどうしてリアルで私たちの前に姿を見せてくれないの？あなたがずっといてくれるならデータでも構わない。でもあなたはバグかもしれなくて、いつ消えるかもわからない。またあんな思いをするなんて私には耐えられない。私は死んでないよ。私はここにいるよ。
Okay,
君はどうして信じてくれないの？
you're not getting it.
敵だ。
Dude, like, okay, yeah, you're alive in this world.
俺たちだ。
こういう出会いはいつでも。
Mind of a toddler.
プロフェアータ以外に用はない。さっさと始末するぞ。
今大事な話をしていたの。邪魔をするな。命
Oh shit.
なんだこの数。
魔導で召喚できる精霊の数はせいぜい2体だぞ。まさかスバルのイノセンシア、精霊の女王か。
気づくのが遅いわ。私を怒らせたのだから、この世界にあなたたちの逃げ場はないの。永遠にリアル世界に帰りなさい。サライバツカ炎のコーナー。あなた永遠に青き光子。ごめんなさい。私、歯向かうものを許したことないの。
Ruthless. So she basically the Avatar.
緑の重圧。
Trying to be the next Aang, the next Korra.
昔から容赦なかったけど、
ムチがすごく似合ってきたね。
それあいつに言うなよ。
ここだとゆっくり話もできないわね。アジトへ行きましょうか。
先に襲撃した連中は一掃されました。
朝日に女王がついたか。捜索隊を編成。邪魔する者は殺しても構わん。必ず朝日を捕らえろ。
ライトニングごときが朝日を捕獲だと。イルミナティ、
高則。
警告だ。
Oh!
もし貴様のギルドが朝日に手を出すというのだ、我々はあらゆるザレ事を受け入れず即貴様らを蹂躙する。
やめてくれ。しかも朝日には金輪際だ。
Well then.
情報の拡散が早すぎる。どこの介入だ。
Okay, so everybody's starting to find out that Asahi is alive,
ちゃんと
and now everybody's after her.
私のアイテム倉庫が空になってる。また一から集め直しってこと？
It's the ring that she gave Subaru. I mean, shit. It's the ring that she gave Haruto.
さつきにもらったやつか。
つけて欲しかったな。
あのクエストじゃ効果的な使い道なかったろ。
それでもつけて欲しかったな。
え？
なんでもない。なんか落ちてないかな。ちょっと ってもない。なんだろうこれ。何拾ったの？ダメ、私が拾ったの。私の落としたやつかもしれないじゃない。違います。
これからどうすりゃいいんだよ。
いや、
誰だ？
Who the hell? That clipped ass bang.
狙いか。
違うよ。私はエリシア。襲撃者ではない。
Alicia.
こいつ、俺の心を真相使いか。
真相は人の心
Oh,
だ。
she's an empath too.
心を先読みすれば結果的に未来が見えるのと同じことだ。だが彼女の未来史は人以外にも効果を発揮する。物体における未来すらもね。
何が言いたい？
正確な意味において未来史は真相センスなどではないということだ。彼女の本来のセンスはこの世界に設定された6種のセンスの範疇外にある。
そんなことあるはず。
そして陰で襲撃を煽っている連中がいる。彼女のセンスの覚醒を促すためにね。
センスの覚醒？
巨大なギルドもすでに動き出している。朝日を頼んだよ。
待て！お前は！
君たちは思い出さなければならない。向き合いたまえ、アモハルト。君の過去に。
俺の
Mm.
過去？
That was odd. Oh, okay. Okay, wow. Okay, I feel like we got a fair amount of information from this episode. Okay, so Asahi is alive, but only virtually. She doesn't seem to remember what happened in the last quest, but she does remember everything beforehand. And when Haruto told her what happened, she didn't really believe him. She took it all as a one big joke, you know? Which I guess is believable because, I mean, how you gonna tell a living, breathing person that they're dead? Also, I believe that she still has the mind of a child, so you can't really argue with the child. They're gonna take their side every time. And then we got to see Takanori again, who is now the leader of his own guild known as Illuminati, and they do not mess around. Apparently, they're this really strong, badass guild. They have a reputation for themselves. We also got to see Sasuke again, who also started back playing Reunion, and her conversation with Asahi was no different than Haruto's. Only she was more blunt with it. But again, Asahi won't take a hint. She is dead set on believing that she is alive, which only makes it more painful to watch because they know the truth. They were there to witness it. It just makes the moment that much more bitter. You know what I mean? She's just completely oblivious to it all. She can't log out. She doesn't have any items. Her account is not registered, but you know, she still in her mind believes that, you know, she's at home in her room playing the game. Meanwhile, every player, every guild out there is now on a hunt for Asahi. Apparently they're after her sense, which is very rare. It's not one of the 6 type of senses that, you know, define the world. And we get this information from another empath named Alicia. In the end, Haruto was getting vague predictions, vague answers from Alicia, including one where she tells him that they all have to remember. I don't know what they have to remember, but it seems important. She also tells him that he needs to face his past, which I'm assuming is the death of Asahi in the real world. But yeah, I like this episode. It was very interesting. I'm glad we got to see what became of Sasuke and Takanori. I love how they gave Takanori his little his own little guild of badasses that he calls the Illuminati. I feel like that would, I feel like that makes him sort of like a mini protagonist, not protagonist, but antagonist towards Haruto. You know, it kind of makes him much more of a serious character, because you know, it shows his, it really shows his resentment towards Haruto. You know, to not only leave Subaru behind, but to go out and start your own team. But man, I'm trying to see what's going on with Clive and Nozomi. Bruh, have you seen Satsuki's balloons? Her bozongas? Like, dude, like, I'm trying to see what Nozomi's cracking now. Y'all grew up nicely. But yes, guys, comment down below of what you thought of episode 2 of Shichisei no Subaru. And as always, if you like this video, please give your boy a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And in the meantime, I'll be trying to crank out another vid for you guys soon. But until then, this is Neko Guy, signing off.